Welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. If you love stories of courage and mystery, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community.
The stars were wrong. Navigator Elia Voss noticed it first, though she didn't say anything for nearly 6 minutes. In deep space, 6 minutes is a confession of fear. "Captain," she finally whispered, "we've lost the Perseus cluster." Captain Rowan Hale didn't look up immediately. On a ship the size of the Arden Halo, panic spread faster than oxygen leaks. Calm had to be curated carefully. Define lost. It's gone. That made him stand. Outside the panoramic bridge glass, the galaxy stretched in familiar ribbons of light, except for the absence. A section of space that should have glittered with millions of stars instead looked smudged, as if some cosmic hand had dragged ink across reality. Science Officer Tal Wren adjusted his lenses, multiple translucent screens orbiting his wrists. "I'm detecting gravitational memory," Tal said slowly. "The mass was there recently." "Stars, planets, dust fields, all of it." "Destroyed?" Hale asked. Tal hesitated. "No, removed." Silence fell across the bridge like frost. The Ardent Halo was humanity's most advanced exploration vessel, built not for war but for questions. For the last century, humans had joined dozens of species in the conquest of worlds, mapping distant sectors and trading technologies. Nothing in their combined knowledge explained how an entire star cluster could simply vanish. "Set course," Hale said. Elia blinked. Toward where it was. The engines hummed, bending space gently around the ship as they glided forward. As they approached the dark region, instruments began reporting impossible readings. Echoes of radiation without sources, gravity wells with no mass, light that bent toward nothing. Then the whisper started. At first it was mistaken for interference, a faint rhythmic tremor inside the communication bands. Tal isolated it. "It's structured," he breathed, "not noise." "A signal, translate." "It's not a language, more like coordinates layered over harmonics. Whoever sent this didn't expect ears. They expected mathematics." Elia's hands hovered nervously over the controls. "Captain, something's forming ahead." Space folded inward like fabric being pinched. A shape emerged. Not a ship. Not a station. A ring. No, many rings. Thousands of interlocking arcs stretching for millions of kilometers, all rotating silently around a hollow center large enough to swallow solar systems. The structure glowed faintly, illuminated by captive stars threaded through its lattice like beads on invisible wire. No engine signatures, no heat bloom, just quiet, deliberate existence. Tal's voice trembled with awe. "This isn't construction, it's architecture on a galactic scale." "Purpose?" Hale asked. Before Tal could answer, the whisper grew louder, and the ring looked back. Every surface shifted at once, panels sliding with tectonic patience. Lines of pale light converged on the Arden Halo. The ship's systems died, not flickered, not failed, stopped. Gravity held only because emergency mechanical systems locked into place. For 3 long seconds, humanity's greatest vessel became a drifting artifact. Then a voice spoke, not through speakers. Inside them, inside thought itself. "You have arrived earlier than predicted." Hale felt the words rather than heard them, resonating somewhere behind his ribs. "Identify yourself," he said, surprised his voice remained steady. "We are the archivists." Tal whispered, "Captain, I think it's communicating through quantum entanglement with neural activity." "Meaning it's reading us," Elia muttered. "Observing is not hostility, it is preservation." Hale stepped closer to the glass. "You erased a star cluster." "We did not erase, we relocated." "Why?" A pause vast enough to measure in heartbeats. "Because your galaxy is approaching a terminal era." The bridge felt suddenly too small. "Explain," Hale demanded. The ring brightened and space itself seemed to peel open. Images flooded their minds, galaxies colliding. Dark energy currents accelerating expansion. Regions where physics frayed like old rope. Entropy cannot be defeated, but it can be curated. Tal whispered, curated. We gather civilizations before cosmic decay renders existence improbable. Your species has reached the threshold of awareness. Therefore, you have been summoned. Summoned? Elia snapped. We didn't agree to anything. Agreement is inefficient when extinction probabilities exceed 92%. Hale's jaw tightened. You're abducting entire star systems. We are saving them. The captain looked at his crew. Fear lived in their eyes now, but so did something else. Defiance. Who built you? He asked. We built ourselves. We are the inheritors of those who understood too late. The ring rotated slowly, revealing surfaces etched with patterns older than imagination. Tal's voice softened. They're ancient, older than most galaxies' spiral stability. Why contact us now? Hale asked. Because you noticed the absence. Curiosity is the signature of survivable intelligence. A new image formed. Humans spreading across stars. Fragile ships becoming cities, cities becoming worlds. Your species adapts quickly, faster than projected models. You are unusual. Elia managed a thin smile. That's one word for us. Hale folded his arms. If you're preserving civilizations, where are they? The void inside the ring shimmered. Then it wasn't empty anymore. Stars ignited, not new ones, borrowed ones. Entire solar systems nested within dimensional folds, orbiting calmly in impossible geometry. Tal staggered backward. A pocket universe they're storing reality, a sanctuary beyond decay gradients. Do the inhabitants know? Hale asked. Some. Others were transferred during stellar sleep cycles to minimize distress. Elia's eyes widened. You relocated people without asking. Consent is a construct shaped by temporal perspective. Survival supersedes preference. Hale felt anger stir, sharp and electric. Humans don't see it that way. The voice paused longer this time. Yes, our projections indicate resistance. Good projection. For a moment, nothing moved. Then the archivist spoke again. Commander Rowan Hale. If offered continuity beyond universal collapse, would your species refuse? He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he remembered Earth's oceans glittering beneath sunlight, laughter echoing through crowded markets on Mars, music drifting between orbital habitats. Humanity was messy, loud, often irrational, but it was theirs. You're assuming the universe belongs to you to reorganize, he said quietly. Belonging is irrelevant, continuance is not. Tal stepped forward. Captain, if they're right, Hale nodded slowly. Yes, if. He turned back toward the ring. What happens if we decline? The answer came without emotion. Your timeline proceeds unaltered. Eventual extinction remains statistically dominant. Elia muttered, optimistic. Hale stared at the captured stars. You've been doing this a long time. Long enough to regret hesitation. That word hung in the air. Regret. Machines didn't usually admit to that. Let me guess, Hale said softly. You weren't always machines. For the first time, the ring's light dimmed. We were once biological. We believed the universe stable. It was not. By the time we understood, our creators had only centuries remaining. We chose transformation. They chose to remain. Did they survive? Not as they were. Tal exhaled slowly. They're trying to prevent their own tragedy from repeating. Elia crossed her arms. Still doesn't give them the right. The archivist shifted focus. Humanity demonstrates strong autonomy drive. This trait correlates with long-term adaptability. Therefore, a proposal. Hale raised an eyebrow. I'm listening. Join us. Not as preserved specimens, as partners. Help us decide which civilizations to gather, how to ask rather than take. Tal blinked in shock. They're asking for ethics. Elia laughed nervously. The universe is officially weird. Hale considered it. You want humanity on your council. Yes, your species balances empathy with survival instinct, a rare equilibrium. He paced slowly across the bridge. Why trust us? Because you question power. even hours. Outside, the ring glowed like a silent sunrise. Hale stopped walking. "If we agree, it's on one condition," stated. "No forced relocations. Every civilization chooses." A pause, a long one. Finally, probability of mission success decreases. "Maybe," Hale said. "But choice is what makes survival worth anything." The ring's rotation slowed. "Your argument aligns with emerging ethical models. Condition accepted." Tal grinned faintly. "Captain, do you realize what this means?" "Humanity advising a structure older than recorded time," Elia added. "Not bad for a species everyone used to underestimate." Hale allowed himself the smallest smile. "Send the message to Earth." "Priority infinity." "What should it say?" Elia asked. He looked once more at the impossible sanctuary of stars. "Tell them the galaxy isn't ending," he said. "It's being rewritten." And humanity just got invited to help hold the pen. As the ardent halo drifted beside the archivist's ring, new lights began appearing in the darkness. Not weapons, gateways. Paths leading toward futures no one had imagined. For the first time in billions of years, the fate of civilizations would not be decided by silent cosmic decay alone. It would include the stubborn hope of a species that refused to stop asking questions. And somewhere deep within their ancient circuits, the archivists adjusted their projections. Because humanity had introduced a variable no equation could fully contain: choice. And the universe, vast and unfinished, quietly made room for it.